Hi, everyone. I'm AJ Mleczko. I'm here with Monique and Jocelyne Lamoureux, twin sisters who earlier this week announced their retirement from the U.S. women's national team. Both of them are married, so we do also know them as Monique Lamoureux-Morando and Jocelyne Lamoureux-Davidson. What spectacular careers they've both had. And of course, I've had the pleasure of having a front row seat to much of those careers, and I've watched them play for a long time. From their youth days in Grand Forks, North Dakota, to their time at Shattuck St. Mary's in Minnesota, and from their playing college hockey to their 14 years with the U.S. women's national team, where they represented our country on the world stage, their journey playing hockey has been filled with so much success, including, of course, 6 world titles and that remarkable run to the gold medal in the 2018 Olympics. So welcome, Monique, Jocelyne. In celebration of your careers, we thought it would be really fun to hear from each of you on what you consider your top 3 hockey playing memories from your time as kids, maybe, or right through until today. I'm sure it's going to be hard to narrow it down to 3, but let's give it a shot. And of course, these don't have to be in any order. I just thought we'd bounce back and forth between the two of you, and maybe things will come to you as we go. So let's give it a try. And Jocelyne, I think we're going to start with you.
I think the easy one would be obviously winning gold in 2018. And you think about why that's such an amazing memory, aside from obviously winning gold, but like what it takes to get there, how long we've trained, when our dream started, watching you guys win in 98. It really sparked our motivation to want to be Olympians. And so winning gold in the way that we did, especially for the two of us to have the role we did in that game specifically, was pretty special for us and our family. And it'd be pretty hard to top a game like that for sure.
Well, Monique, I'm sure you have the same one. That has to be probably in your top 3, but now you're under pressure to come up with something different.
Yeah, I mean, in thinking about like our top moments, I was trying to like go a little bit in a different way as well. And I was thinking about like what's like a moment one of the moments I've learned the most from, and which might not be like a successful moment, but thinking back to 2014 and our loss in Sochi, and the heartbreak that our team went through, and having gotten silver, but the way in which we lost the game. As most people know, we were up 2-0 with less than 3 minutes left. Canada ties it up, and then we ended up losing in overtime. And I think the reflection that not just us, but our entire team went through, and what we did within the locker room and within the program to make sure that the outcome was going to be different the next time. I think without the lessons that we learned and what we took away from that loss, I don't think the following 4 years of our national team careers would have been as successful as they were without that loss.
So you guys got to learn from that loss, take it and turn it into a gold medal. Of course, the experience that I had, I started with a gold medal and we went the wrong direction. So I can relate to the losing though, and how hard it is, and how the appreciation for it later as you move down. But thinking about the growth that you guys had then, what are some of your favorite memories from your youth playing days in North Dakota?
Well, I would say learning how to play hockey on the pond. We used to go outside with our brothers. We call it the coulee, but it's like a little swamp. It's like a little swamp, I guess you call it. It doesn't smell good in the summer. But we would go down to the coulee, and one of the neighbors would turn on their floodlights if it was getting dark, and you lose pucks all over the ice because they get buried in the snow if you miss the net, or if you're playing 3-on-3 and one of our brothers would just dump us into the snowbank. But just learning to love the game. Obviously, with no coaches there, our parents would never come down. The only time our mom would even step foot at the top of the hill would be to tell us to get our butts moving, because we had to be at like a swim practice, or I don't know, go to bed or something like that. So there was no supervision. And so I think that's really where the love of the game for us started, was just learning how to play and following our brothers along. And there was no agenda out there. We were just having fun. Yeah, I would say, I mean, that's obvious. Learning, I mean, I feel like that's really where we learned to really love the game, was on the pond. But growing up, I think when we played Pee-wees, our first year of Pee-wees, so this was before the rule change, so we played 3 years of checking. So our first 2 years of Pee-wees, we were playing with the boys and had checking as well, but we won a state championship with our PWA team that year. And I think it was just because I think people thought we were going to transition to girls hockey once checking started, and we really wanted to like prove ourselves as players and that we could not just keep up, but like more than hold our own, and we could be successful even as we got older. I think I think we were so fortunate growing up to have such great coaches, youth coaches that were supportive of us. So I think our PWA year, I think that was a fun one too.
So for you guys, your careers have really been in lockstep, and you've been known as the Lamoureux twins, and you guys have been together every step of the way. But how much has competition between the two of you driven some of your success?
I think our day-to-day accountability with each other is probably unlike any other duo teammate situation that you would find. I mean, I remember one time wasn't feeling too great. We were at Shattuck, wasn't feeling too great. So I was done with classes. I was like, I think I'm just gonna take a nap. I'm so tired. And Monique grabs her gym bag and she's like, okay, well, I'm heading to the gym.
See you later.
Yeah, see you later. And I literally 5 minutes passes and I'm like, okay. And so I dragged my feet into the gym, and Monique's like, I figured you'd show up 5 minutes later. Yeah. So just that type of accountability with each other. I think it's when you have that pretty much every step of the way. I mean, when we were like 11 or 12, we started doing stick handling drills in the garage because our brothers were doing it, and we had a shooting tarp. And so what we would do is one of us would stick handle, one of us would shoot pucks, and we'd flip flop, and we would have a bucket of pucks. Once we finished, we'd be like, hey, come help pick these up. And so we just always had that accountability, and we were just never by ourselves working hard, which makes it, I think, easier to put in that type of work. Yeah, we had the ultimate competitiveness against each other, but then also on the flip side of that, it was the ultimate support of one another as well. So I think we had, with that combination, I don't think the success we achieved throughout our careers, I don't think that success would be there if it wasn't for our dynamic.
So we covered some of your youth hockey memories, and then of course culminating with that epic win in 2018. Do either of you remember the first time that you pulled on a Team USA jersey?
Yeah, in Kitchener, Ontario, 2006 Four Nations. Yeah, it was our first Four Nations. I think I was wearing number 11. I can't even remember. They just gave me a number.
Well, that was my number, so I love to hear that.
I must have been the first one to wear it after your time. So yeah, I think just the first time you get to put on a jersey, it's something you dream of. And I think the mindset we had was, this is just the beginning. We knew we had a long way to solidifying a spot on the team for as long as we did. But it was exciting. I just remember being in awe of the whole environment. Yeah, and we were playing in Canada, so I think we played Canada in the first game, and so the rink was packed, it was loud, and so we were 17 at the time, and so it's the biggest crowd that we're ever playing in front of, and I'm pretty sure I might have only had like one shift that game, so they probably could have just healthy scratched me for that one. But it was just to be able to have that experience of putting on the jersey. Like we never had the opportunity to play on an under 18 team because that tournament started the year after we aged out of it, and so your first time putting on a jersey was literally with the national team players, Chrissy Wendell, Natalie Darwitz, and Chui were still on the team, Jenny Potter. So to think that was our first experience with that group of players, it's pretty fun to look back on that.
So you guys have had a tremendous career, and it's so fun to reminisce and celebrate it. But what does the future hold now that you're retired from competition?
Well, I'm due in about 6 weeks with our second boy, so we have that coming up. So our lives we're going man-to-man coverage in our household with our two boys, but we're excited about that. We have our book coming out in February 23rd. Our book comes out, so we're really excited. That's been about a 2-year process and a labor of love. And then we started a foundation almost 2 years ago now. We started a foundation that helps give back to underprivileged kids and youth in Grand Forks, but in the state of North Dakota. And so we've really have found, especially I think during the pandemic, and having more time at home, just different areas that are just different passions that we're finding. And so the book was definitely a passion project, but then I think down the road our foundation's definitely gonna take some more time in our lives.
Well, congratulations. I'm excited to read the book. I can't wait. It comes out soon. I know I've seen all the press about it. That's exciting. But on behalf of all hockey fans in America, thank you guys. You guys have been tremendous players, tremendous ambassadors, and you gave us the thrill of a lifetime watching you guys in 2018. So congratulations and best wishes on all your future endeavors.
Thanks, AJ.